Welcome to this video on digital transformation, AI-driven organization, a strategic blueprint for the agentic era. We begin with a case study on N8N and the, quote, valley of death. The failure was not due to the tool itself, but because use cases outgrew its real-world capabilities. The next step is to analyze the data to find solutions and avoid this disillusionment. To overcome the valley of death, we must anticipate the trap in the Gartner hype cycle. By quickly identifying the trough of disillusionment, organizations can move faster from inflated expectations to real action and reach the slope of enlightenment sooner. In the AI agent era, moving past the valley of death involves three phases. First, the hype phase, where excitement peaks. Second, the valley of death, where complexity leads to disillusionment. Finally, the realization phase, where organizations learn to treat the tool as infrastructure, leading to sustainable value. The transition to the agentic era is critical. The shift moves AI from a command tool to an intelligent operating system. However, 90% of organizations are stuck in the trap of AI theater, speeding up existing broken processes. The next move requires zero-based process reinvention to break down silos. This transition is already happening. Before 2024, I was mainly for generating content. Now, the 2025 plus model shows AI acting in the real world, searching data, controlling software, and executing automated workflows end-to-end. This is no longer future speculation, but a current reality. The question is no longer, can AI do it? AI agents are already capable of planning, searching, synthesizing, building, testing, deploying, monitoring, detecting, and triggering actions. The real question is, are we ready to let AI act within our systems? Most AI is still untrustworthy for autonomous action, creating a broken trust. This is due to inconsistent outputs, lack of persistent memory, compounding failures, and no accountability. The Moderna paradox suggests that while AI access increases, trust does not follow. Organizations need trust and control, not just intelligence. Without AI governance, the risks are enormous, including excessive agency, data hallucination, and lack of audit trails. Safety requires four components: defining AI's authority, ensuring termination capability, establishing accountability, and verifying assurance for decision review. The AI theater crisis leads to ghosting ROI. Despite massive investments, 95% of general AI projects fail to deliver required results because they are applied to broken, siloed systems. This creates isolated chatbots and coordination friction, speeding up inefficiency rather than creating value. The shift from tool to intelligent operating system requires change across four dimensions. We move from siloed IT to an agentic mesh, from instruction-driven logic to goal execution, from basic content generation to autonomous execution, and from individual efficiency to structural EBITDA expansion. Applying AI to broken processes accelerates waste. The execution gap sees AI only as a co-pilot, tied to obsolete human decision-making. The trap, or AI theater, fails to generate innovation or change the cost structure. The truth is, we need process reinvention from the ground up. The value creation equation shows that 70% of value comes from people and process reinvention, not just algorithms. While technology can be bought, the architectural mindset must be built through visionary leadership. This is supported by 10% algorithms and 20% infrastructure. A complete intelligent organizational architecture creates a perfect digital ecology. It relies on a strong data foundation, which is the bedrock. Above this, the Job Reinventing Canvas and psychological safety combine to yield sovereign micro-enterprises, driving 10x value, even amidst economic instability. By using atomic decomposition, we can restructure work through the Job Reinventing Canvas and reduce human cognitive load across three zones. Zone 1 is for AI tasks, eliminating waste. Zone 2 is for human tasks, reserving critical judgment. Zone 3 combines AI and human effort for complex problem solving. Zone 1 focuses on 100% autonomous execution, where AI handles deterministic work requiring high data liquidity. The mission is to pull data, analyze patterns, find lessons learned, and draft initial reports. This reduces data collection time from days to seconds, minimizing human error. Zone 2, the absolute shield, reserves critical judgment for humans. It prevents the automation paradox, where relying too much on automated systems leads to a failure in oversight. The EPOCH model, empathy, present, opinion, creativity, hope, defines the human spirit I cannot replicate. Zone 3 is the Centaur model, or human-AI symbiosis. Here, humans guide the direction, while AI extends capabilities. This synergy involves AI simulating first principles thinking for the human to use. This combination excels at complex problem solving, reaching the highest levels of structural intelligence. The organizational shift moves from a legacy task executor to a strategic orchestrator. The legacy model executes instructions. The orchestrator designs and directs AI agents, sets context, and performs metacognitive auditing to ensure decision observability. The human-AI symbiosis engine represents an infinite loop of co-reliance. Machine agency provides fast, millisecond execution, while human cognition provides judgment, ethics, and psychological safety. Agentic AI is meant to augment humanity, not replace it, yielding structural EBITDA expansion and resilience. A key element is the strategic orchestrator, which shifts the focus from task-based work to process flow design and risk mitigation. This role involves three primary shifts, from managing tasks to orchestrating flows, from being instruction-driven to intent-driven, and from checking outcomes to auditing decisions. The orchestrator's responsibilities include designing the system, providing context engineering, defining the intent of the AI, and performing metacognitive auditing of AI decisions and logic. The orchestrator needs three core competencies. The first is system design, moving from workflow creation to defining the boundaries and constraints of the AI's action. Second is intent definition, clearly articulating the end goal and success metrics rather than just listing step-by-step instructions. Third is metacognitive auditing, which requires reviewing the AI's internal logic and reasoning to ensure accountability and trust. The architectural components required include the agentic mesh for flexible operations, a data foundation for clean and accessible information, and a digital ecology to ensure system cohesion. This open network architecture unlocks the full potential of AI by creating a web of autonomous agents that exchange data and negotiate seamlessly. In traditional organizations, cross-functional goals often collide. Production seeks maximum efficiency. Sales demands rapid response and revenue growth. Supply chain pushes for cost reduction and lean inventory. These opposing objectives create coordination friction, weeks of negotiation just to align. This is the core conflict at the heart of enterprise strategy. To cross this chasm, we must undergo a structural shift, moving to embracing the agentic AI paradigm. The breakthrough of agentic AI is not just speed, it's parallel negotiation across silos. Sales, production, and supply chain agents negotiate automatically through A2A protocols. Multivariable optimization balances ROI with customer demand. And at the center lies the EBITDA sweet spot, the gravitational point where cost, speed, and quality align to maximize profitability. What once took weeks of human debate now happens in seconds. The goal is to create a sovereign micro-enterprise, which operates as an autonomous, goal-oriented business unit within the larger organization. Let's explore Gemini Deep Research, the agentic powerhouse that automates complex research into a precise and insightful process. Key features of agentic search include multi-step reasoning, which plans searches like an expert, and parallel exploration, which analyzes multiple sources simultaneously. It also uses self-correction and grounding to ensure accuracy and complex synthesis to generate immediate insights. However, relying heavily on AI leads to AI brain fry, or cognitive fatigue. This is the bottleneck in AI automation, and we must design a human-led AI approach for sustainable success. The AI brain fry crisis is triggered by intensive human oversight and context switching between too many tools. This leads to a 39% increase in critical errors and a 34% rise in turnover risk for high performers. Sustainable AI automation requires using AI for augmentation, not amplification, and setting outcome-based KPIs. The Unilever case study, featuring Samantha, demonstrates human-led AI in action. Humans define the brand strategy, and AI generates content, leading to 3 times faster production, a 95% reduction in drafting time, and 25% cost savings. This approach focuses on augmentation, preserving human cognitive energy. This video outlines a clear roadmap toward an agentic, AI-driven organization. Phase 1, Foundation. We start by eliminating structural obstacles through job redesign. using the Job Reinventing Canvas to define AI, human, and collaboration zones. We also established data liquidity basics, using the medallion architecture for agent-ready data. Phase 2. AI governance. This involves implementing adaptive governance, where control levels are based on risk. For high-risk tasks, a human-in-the-loop structure is mandatory. We also installed digital guardrails, such as input sanitization and output verification for millisecond-level safety checks. Phase 3. Agentic system. We move toward an autonomous enterprise by investing in an agentic AI mesh, allowing agents across departments to negotiate and coordinate end-to-end tasks. Furthermore, we implement holistic optimization by embedding profit logic into the AI's reward function for optimal autonomous adjustment. Appendix 1 highlights key AI trends leading toward the agentic era. This visual outlines the 10 key trends toward the agentic era. Trend 1 is the shift from general AI to agentic AI, moving from simple generation to complex autonomous action. Trend 2 is the evolution from human-in-the-loop to human-led AI, ensuring human strategy guides automated execution. Trend 3 focuses on the shift from prompt engineering to context engineering, providing AI with strategic goals and system boundaries. Trend 4 focuses on bridging the IT-OT divide. In the agentic era, organizations must eliminate infrastructure debt by seamlessly integrating operational technology, OT, on the factory floor with enterprise IT systems. This frictionless connection allows AI agents to make cross-functional decisions based on real-time physical and business data. Trend 5 introduces the hybrid memory architecture. Relying solely on standard databases or vector DBs can cause AI hallucinations. By integrating vector databases with deterministic knowledge graphs into a hybrid RAG system, organizations provide deep, verifiable context. This ensures 100% traceable logic and builds informed trust for their digital workforce. Trend 6 is the shift toward an adaptive governance matrix. It moves away from rigid rules to a dynamic, risk-based tier system. Low-stakes, highly reversible tasks are granted full autonomy, while high-stakes, irreversible decisions mandate strict human-in-the-loop collaboration, perfectly balancing operational speed with systemic safety. Trend 7 involves implementing digital guardrails and constitutional AI. To prevent rogue actions or prompt injections, organizations must embed their business rules and EBITDA targets directly into the AI's core. Using a 5-layer defense system, the architecture automatically filters inputs, verifies intent, and prevents data leakage before any physical execution occurs. Trend 8 is zero-based process reinvention. Applying advanced AI to broken legacy processes only accelerates waste. Organizations must use the Job Reinventing Canvas to fundamentally deconstruct and rebuild workflows from scratch. This radical reconstruction shifts the focus from simple task automation to value creation, paving the way for the true sovereign enterprise. Trend 9 highlights the agentic AI mesh. It shifts the paradigm from isolated, single-agent tools to an open, decentralized network, where specialized agents communicate via agent-to-agent, A2A protocols. This collective intelligence autonomously discovers data, negotiates across departments, and balances conflicting KPIs to maximize structural profitability. Welcome to Appendix 2 on AI fluency, based on research from MIT Sloan. We explore the cognitive blueprint, EPOCH, as the foundation of AI fluency. This decodes MIT Sloan's research and the design of future-proof human thinking. AI fluency goes beyond digital literacy. Traditional literacy focuses on automation, but true AI fluency requires strategic orchestration and system 2 feet thinking for business impact and safety. The future is about thinking digital first, not just using AI. The EPOCH framework highlights the distinct human abilities AI cannot replicate. These 5 pillars, empathy, presence, opinion, creativity, and hope, form the human core shield. Data from MIT Sloan shows that EPOCH skills are key to economic survival. Jobs requiring these skills are projected to grow significantly, diverging from high-risk automation jobs. The System 1 versus System 2 feet AI fluency funnel illustrates that AI fluency is a parallel thinking architecture. We must move past System 1 foot blind trust and use EPOCH as a friction mechanism to engage critical System 2 feet evaluation. E is for empathy and emotional intelligence. AI's limitation is algorithmic pattern matching, while the human edge lies in relational outcomes and deep listening, the relational anchor. P is for presence, networking, and connectedness. AI's digital confinement limits it to data. The human edge is the, quote, collective wisdom network, leveraging shared knowledge in the physical environment. O is for opinion, judgment, and ethics. AI is confined to statistical probability, favoring the status quo. Humans offer the value-driven compass for making ethical decisions based on values and causal relationships. C is for creativity and imagination. AI excels at divergent draft generation, but humans provide the meaningful convergence by connecting the dots in open-ended contexts. H is for hope, vision, and leadership. AI has an aimless algorithm, lacking life intention. The human edge is the human North Star, the capacity to inspire hope and navigate uncertainty. This table summarizes the asymmetrical diagnostic of AI limitations versus the human edge across all EPOCH dimensions. The AI-enhanced design thinking architecture shows AI providing data support and divergent brainstorming. Human EPOCH constricts these drafts with judgment to achieve relational outcomes. In this collaborative architecture, AI acts as the divergent drafter, providing synthesis and ideation. The human acts as the sovereign commander, applying empathy, contextual judgment, and making the final decisions. The cognitive mirror transforms AI into an intellectual partner. We use AI for evaluation, not final judgment, and leverage its Socratic gaps to engage our reflective, System 2 thinking. Trend number 10, the Agentic Operating System, or AIOS. This is the next computing paradigm, and we will explore it through a case study comparing Hermes and OpenClaw in 2026. Unlike traditional software, the Agentic OS is built on 3 living layers. First, the reasoning engine that understands your intent, not just your keywords. Second, the persistent memory that remembers your history and preferences, solving the amnesia problem of early AI. And finally, the execution grid, the hands that actually touch files, run code, and control other software. The AI in 2026, with the brain, the soul, and the hands to manage execution and action. This isn't a chatbot. It is a new digital nervous system that turns your strategy into action. We see a great divergence in approach, intimacy versus control. Hermes, or the adaptive brain, is intimate, anticipatory, and focuses on evolution through continuous self-improving loops. OpenClaw, or the sovereign grid, is rigid, orchestrational, and highly scalable, focusing on power through deterministic workflow and auditable operations. Diving deeper into the architecture, Hermes is contextual and intimate with a dreaming process for memory. OpenClaw is transparent and explicit, relying on plain markdown logs for 100% auditable compliance. Choosing your path depends on your goals. Hermes is for thinkers seeking depth and evolution, aiming to be a second brain with personalized intelligence. OpenClaw is for operators needing reach and stability, resulting in a, quote, digital workforce with organizational sovereignty. Here is the ultimate architecture for 2026. On the left, we have the strategy node. Leaders use Hermes as their second brain to navigate ambiguity, define intent, and leverage deep personal context. This is where we think. On the right, we have the execution grid. Once the intent is clear, we hand it over to OpenClaw. It takes that strategy and orchestrates it across thousands of nodes, servers, applications, and teams with absolute precision. This is where we act. By combining the intimacy of Hermes with the scale of OpenClaw, we bridge the gap between human intent and machine execution. This isn't just efficiency, this is sovereignty. So I leave you with one final question. Are you ready to stop controlling every task and start commanding the outcome? This is Appendix number 3, focusing on architecting AI trust based on a research study conducted on Moderna. We explore the Moderna paradox, why the expansion of AI can erode trust within an organization. AI integration at Moderna is hitting a wall of reliability and control, including inconsistent outputs, fragmented memory, and a lack of accountability that creates a systemic barrier between AI potential and actual business outcomes. We must rethink how we architect trust from the ground up. Despite being a global pioneer in AI integration, Moderna faced a critical turning point known as the Moderna AI paradox, a phenomenon where rapid AI scaling leads to a decline in organizational trust. This paradox is driven by 3 fundamental frictions. First, the hallucination trap, where probabilistic models risk integrity in high-stakes research like dose selection. Second, the junkbot explosion, where over 750 unmanaged custom GPTs created a fragmented landscape of digital noise, obscuring the single source of truth. And finally, the governance gap, caused by a lack of System 2 reasoning, leaving AI unable to audit its own logic or justify strategic decisions to leadership. To overcome the current trust gap, we must navigate a strategic paradigm shift from access to agency. In 2024, the focus was on democratizing access, where tools like ChatGPT boosted productivity but required 100% manual human verification to manage high risks. As we move into 2026, we transition toward democratizing agency, empowering AI with autonomous reasoning to operate as proactive agents within an agentic workflow. This evolution fosters a true human-AI symbiosis, where AI can self-correct, verify its own logic, and plan complex tasks independently. Ultimately, we are shifting the core philosophy of our organization. We are no longer just using AI to predict the next word, but empowering AI to think, not just predict. To transform the Moderna case study into our own strategic advantage, we must adopt three critical decision-making pillars. First, we must validate before scale, shifting our focus from the quantity of bots to the quality of a single source of truth through robust data governance. Second, we prioritize risk-based deployment, strictly separating low-risk automated tasks from high-stake operations that demand a, quote, human-in-the-loop approach to prevent trust-eroding errors. Finally, we must invest in AI literacy, moving beyond merely providing access to building deep organizational capability in System 2 reasoning. By following these lessons, we ensure that our transition into the agentic AI era is built on a foundation of reliability, transparency, and sustainable trust. Ultimately, the core challenge we face isn't that AI lacks intelligence, but that it lacks reliability and control. As we've seen in the Moderna paradox, simply increasing access to AI does not scale trust. The current architecture suffers from four critical breaking points: inconsistent outputs that make results unpredictable, a lack of persistent memory that causes context to be lost, compounding failures, where small errors trigger a systemic domino effect, and a total absence of accountability in the decision-making chain. These frictions create a wall between AI potential and actual business outcomes. To bridge this gap, we can no longer rely on the models of yesterday. We must rethink how we architect trust. The answer to the AI paradox lies not in better code, but in a better psychological safety engine. To bridge the gap, we must first break the barrier by acknowledging the fear of job loss and replacing it with the narrative shift, moving from a culture of replacement to one of human augmentation. By building a safe sandbox, we empower our people to experiment and fail without fear, transforming AI from a threatening software into a cybernetic teammate. This is how we move beyond mere access. We create an environment where humans and AI grow together, turning technological friction into a competitive advantage for the era of 2026. Now, let's move to Appendix Number 4, the evolution of AI automation, based on a research study and global trend report. We will outline the 5 levels of evolution leading to an autonomous ecosystem, presenting the blueprint to Autonomous Ecosystem 2026. To lead in the new era, we must understand the 5 levels of AI evolution. We begin at Level 1, the reactive assistant, moving beyond simple prompts to Level 2's rule-based logic. The real shift happens at Level 3, where AI follows complex SOPs, and Level 4, where a multi-agent ecosystem collaborates like a digital workforce. Finally, we reach Level 5, the Autonomous Agentic RAG, a system that doesn't just assist, but thinks, acts, and self-corrects independently. Our goal is clear: to ascend this ladder and unlock the full power of autonomous intelligence. Level 1 is the reactive assistant, or chat as a task. It relies on transactional communication, requiring 100% human thinking. Its limitation is being a non-self-starting tool. Level 2 is the rule-based logic prompt, or the structured thinker. Humans design the structure and rules for the AI. It can deliver high-quality results, but cannot handle exceptions beyond its defined logic. Level 3 introduces the multi-step AI agent with SOP, the specialized worker. This involves linear automation across platforms following strict standard operating procedures. A lack of strategic decision-making can cause system failure if conditions change. At Level 4, we unlock the true power of the multi-agent ecosystem. Here, the AI ceases to be a solo tool and becomes an adaptive orchestrator. Instead of one model trying to do everything, we have a specialized digital team, analyst, coder, and buyer, working in perfect synchronization. The orchestrator doesn't just execute tasks, it distributes them to the best specialist for the job. This architectural shift is game-changing. It is collaboration at scale. Level 5 is the autonomous agentic RAG and tool use, the sovereign ecosystem. This is the peak of autonomy, using senses for vector database data and hands for external tool use. The shift moves from executor to expert, based on goal-driven actions. The protocol layer breaks down data silos. The Universal Hands Standard, using MCP and A2A protocols, allows AI to seamlessly communicate with external software, eliminating the need for custom integrations. The uncomfortable truth is the risk of autonomous systems. Gartner warns that 40% of agentic AI projects will fail by 2027 without proper governance. The solution involves psychological safety and human-in-the-loop mechanisms to detect errors and validate AI decisions. To succeed, we must execute on 3 pillars. First, build the foundation, fortifying our data infrastructure to ensure every AI decision is grounded in truth. Second, scale the agency, moving beyond simple assistance to deploy multi-agent systems that drive real business outcomes. And third, empower the human, fostering a co-creation culture where technology amplifies, rather than replaces, our greatest asset, our people. The era of passive AI is over. The era of autonomous intelligence has begun. Which high-stakes decision are you willing to surrender to an AI agent within the next 12 months? This is no longer about assistance. It is about agency. It is the shift from human execution to strategic orchestration. To win in 2026, we must stop building AI theater on top of broken processes and start architecting a sovereign enterprise. The technology is ready. The architecture is mapped. The only variable left is your courage to let go. Are you ready to transition from control to command? Which high-stakes decision are you willing to surrender to an AI agent within the next 12 months?
The air is thin, the trail is steep, a promise that I meant to keep. Promise that I meant to keep. The ghost of yesterday are gone. I'm pushing through the dark to find the dawn. To find